Hi, everyone, and welcome to Discover E Engineering's Chat with Changemakers. I'm your host, Enrique. I'm a 10th grader in Florida and president of my school's SHEP Junior Chapter, which is a Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. Each month, I welcome a different guest from the engineering community. Today, I'm chatting with Dr. Terry Anderson, a systems engineer at Northrop Grumman. Dr. Anderson, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, Enrique. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to our discussion.
I'm going to kick some things off by asking Dr. Anderson a few questions to get to know a little bit more about her. You can ask questions too by typing in your questions in the Q&A box below, and we will save time to answer as many as we can. Okay, so let's get started. Can you please provide an overview of Northrop Grumman and your role in that company?
Yes. So Northrop Grumman is a global aerospace and defense company. We develop aerospace systems such as airplanes, manned and unmanned drones, and surveillance systems. We provide cybersecurity systems across land, air, sea, and space to prevent cyber attacks and secure military communications. We also help our customers connect throughout the world. My role as a systems engineer, I write requirements for computer software components that support aircraft functions and address the customer's needed capabilities. These requirements are used by software engineers to write program code to test the requirements for operability. So, for an analogy, let's use as an example a high school student contemplating becoming an engineer. There are certain courses to take, such as trigonometry and physics. However, before you can take trigonometry, you need to take a series of algebra and geometry courses. These prerequisites are the requirements for taking the trigonometry course. Similarly, for physics, before you can enroll in a physics course, you need to take biology and chemistry. As a systems engineer in an educational institution, you could be the person to develop and structure the curricula to ensure that students are equipped with the knowledge and skills needed to succeed in the field of engineering.
Okay, perfect. I went through. So some little technical difficulties, but we get over them. So what drew you to the field of aeronautics, and how did your college experience influence your path to becoming a systems engineer?
Very good question. So I went through a circuitous route to become a systems engineer. I say that because it's very important for high school students and young adults to realize there's more than one pathway to become an engineer. Ideally, one would want to graduate high school, go to college, major in engineering, and then go to work. However, this direct path may not be feasible for all students. My pathway is a case in point. So, although I applied and was accepted into Rice University in Texas, Carnegie Mellon University in Pennsylvania, and Georgia Tech, my father chose Mississippi State University for me to attend. This is where I began studying mechanical engineering. So at the time, I was unaware of scholarships, grants, work study programs, cooperative education, and other programs that are designed to financially assist students by offsetting and relieving some of the burden of, room and board and tuition. So neither were counselors readily available to offer guidance as to how I could financially afford to attend these universities. So I attended Mississippi State University for about 3 semesters, but during that time, it was a struggle. I worked at Domino's Pizza. I worked in housekeeping on the college campus. I did whatever I could legally do as a 19-year-old student to earn the money to survive without having significant financial support from my parents. So during the winter break of my sophomore year, my cousin Carolyn asked me if I wanted to move to Florida to live with her, continue to go to school and work. So I accepted her offer, moved to Florida, and began working full time as an accounting technician at Ryder, PIE, under the supervision of Linda Schofield. And Ryder was a logistics and transportation company. But to summarize, my academic and professional career path while in Florida, I attended the University of North Florida, Florida Community College, and Jacksonville University, majoring in mathematics, met and eventually married my future husband, who was in the Navy. We moved from Florida to Maryland, where I attended St. Mary's Community College of Maryland. As a family of three, my husband, daughter, and I moved to Virginia, where I attended Old Dominion University. When my husband left for a 9-month deployment at sea, my daughter, son, and I moved to Oklahoma. So while living with my in-laws, I attended the University of Central Oklahoma and completed my undergraduate degree in mathematics and began studying statistics at Oklahoma State University. When my husband returned, we moved back to Virginia. I continued taking courses at the local colleges. We eventually moved back to Oklahoma, where I completed a master's degree in mathematics and began my civil service career as an actuary after having had a consulting company for about 9 years. Um, let's see, I continued my educational pursuit while working in various civil service careers and disciplines from operations research, earned value management, and systems analysis for an air and missile defense systems. I finally completed a PhD in industrial and systems engineering and began a new career in the private sector with Northrop Grumman.
Wow, you've went across the whole nation. You've gone to almost every single university. That's crazy. Wow. And from
Yes.
your experience as a systems engineer, what is the most surprising piece of knowledge that you can think of that many people might just not know about?
Yes, I guess what I found in systems engineering is, with the exception for attending a technical college like a Cal Tech, most of what you learn in college is theoretical. So your systems engineering knowledge will come from the on-the-job training. And there are plenty of opportunities, various jobs, tasks that one can pursue while working in that field.
So, in what ways do you think that your job encourages you to be a change maker?
That's a very good question. Becoming a change maker, being a change maker. So I guess I would have to say several events come to mind, which demonstrate how Northrop Grumman encourages me to be a change maker and positively impact the company, Oklahoma City, and the surrounding communities. As a minority female and board member of the African American Task Group at Northrop, I was able to work within this employee resource group to coordinate the participation of a diverse group of Northrop's engineers to attend a Juneteenth celebration held on the grounds of Northrop Grumman. So this celebration included both males and female engineers, as well as engineers from across multiple ethnicities. They shared their experience at Northrop Grumman as Northrop Grumman engineers with young people from the community who expressed an interest in STEM disciplines. This event allowed the students to speak one-on-one with professional engineers to help students understand the classes they needed to take while still in school. It also provided an opportunity for the engineers to discuss the challenges they have encountered in their profession. But this helps students understand what it's actually like to be an engineer. I've also served as a mentor in Northrop Grumman's mentorship program. I've mentored both an electronics engineer and a logistician who was interested in getting into the engineering discipline. So serving as a mentor was useful. It was a useful tool for highlighting the benefits of working for Northrop Grumman and the opportunities available for individuals to grow in their professional endeavors. So this particular mentorship was invaluable because I was able to work with a logistician and show him what kind of classes that he would need to take, as well as get him enrolled in Rose State Community College to start on a pathway to becoming an engineer. So as a systems engineer for Northrop Grumman, I've been able to develop and work with and establish systems and processes to introduce young people to the role of engineering and to encourage the continual professional development of Northrop Grumman's employees.
Wow, you are definitely a change maker. And what is one future trend or development in your field that excites you?
One future trend. I would say, with the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, I'm excited to see how AI will be used in systems engineering for analyzing large amounts of data, conducting predictive analysis to forecast potential problems or failures, and optimizing system design for improved efficiencies and cost savings. So furthermore, I want to see how AI can be used to provide insight, whether it's with generating requirements for aerospace and defense systems or developing models to design, simulate, and validate complex systems, including hardware, software, and the interactions between the two.
Yeah, definitely AI is a big rise right now, and I think it is going to be the future. And
Yes.
what changes would you like to see in the fields of STEM today, tomorrow, and the future?
Changes in STEM today, tomorrow, and in the future. Hmm. So I guess today I would like to see more diversity in the students who are challenged to take STEM-related courses in middle school and high school. These are the higher level math and science courses, starting with algebra in middle school, and I guess all ninth graders taking biology. So tomorrow, I would like to see more high school students conduct STEM research and complete mini STEM internships or rotational assignments during their winter or summer breaks. And in the future, I would like to see all high school students exposed to at least one computer programming course.
Yeah, definitely. Here at our school, there's a lot of computer science. There's a lot of programming. So that definitely is something that will be accomplished in the future. That at least students take some principles of computer science or something like that. We also have
Yes.
our first Q&A question from the audience. Is a high school student chemistry class in New Jersey, and it's saying and they're asking, what is the starting salary for a systems engineer or similar field?
So I would say a starting salary for a systems engineer with no experience is about $70,000.
Okay. Then now for our next question is, what strengths do you have that make you a good engineer?
Ah, that's a good question. What strengths do I have? I think some of the strengths that I have include problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, because you'll work with a lot of diverse people, communications, and creativity. I think those are some of the strengths that I have.
Yeah, I think definitely too a strength is being because you're able to go to so many different universities, you're also able to learn from a lot of different professors and understand their teaching styles. So I think that's also would be a strength of yours. And did you have any mentors who inspired you to pursue the path that you're on today?
Definitely, yes. My husband, Prescovi, has been extremely inspirational throughout my academic and professional career. While in college, he encouraged me to pursue the PhD as opposed to getting a second master's. He stressed the importance of continuing to move forward in my academic pursuits. With my career, I had an opportunity to pursue employment 100 miles from where we live, as opposed to discouraging me with the amount of time I would be on the road commuting back and forth, roughly about an hour and a half. Um, he suggested that I really consider what I wanted out of this position. You know, what was in it for me? What was I hoping to accomplish? So after reflecting on the position, I took the job.
Wow. And now in thinking of the students which are joining us today and in the future, what is one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
The one piece of advice that I think is critical that students need to understand now as opposed to later is that learn as much as you can while you're in school. You do not want to pay for colleges. You do not want to pay for courses in college that you could have had while in high school. So I think it's very important to take as many, as many of the STEM courses as you can while you're in high school.
Yeah, this is very specific to the high school students right now, which I know to their availability have the dual enrollment courses, some of the AP courses, and all those courses are able to be transferred over onto the college level. So it's money that you save, and money, time is money. So it's time that you save as well. So when you were in middle school, what did you want to be when you grew up?
That's a good question. So I guess today, students here, you can be whatever you want to be. But without that degree, your opportunities may be limited. So when I grew up, education was paramount. It was stressed more than anything about a profession. And so with a degree, there was nothing I could not do. And I was continually told that. But I guess when I reflect back over my life, I've found that that is true. That with that professional degree, there's there's been nothing that has been withheld from me.
Wow. And what is one skill that engineers, well, you kind of had answered this question before. So what would you tell kids who aren't so sure about engineering, who maybe think that they're not cut out to pursue engineering?
Oh, that's a good question. I think one of the things that's very important is that students and young adults need to understand they need to be their own cheerleaders. They have to advocate for themselves. And so I would tell them not to let anyone discourage them and just mainly to be their own cheerleader.
Yeah, I agree. Don't take yourself down. It's better to use those weaknesses that you may say to actually be strengths, right? So
Exactly.
how did you not only find your passion, but keep your passion ignited?
That's a good question. So about my passion, I guess to find your passion, reflect over the previous week or month and find the one thing that you enjoyed doing when you were helping someone other than yourself. This, in my opinion, is the beginning of where your passions lie. To keep your passions ignited, don't take things personally. Sometimes people have bad days and may say something that upsets you. So they may be letting off steam from something that happened with them. So I guess the main point is we must learn to forgive forgive them, and move on.
Yeah, and could you tell us about a time that you failed at something and what you learned from the experience?
Ah, yes, failure. Failure is part of life. And so I guess when I think about failure, as opposed to thinking about something current, I'm going to reflect back on when I was in school because it will relate more to your audience. So when I was in the 12th grade, I chose not to take English 4. This is the final course in the natural sequence of high school English composition courses. At the time, advanced placement courses were not offered. So instead of enrolling in English 4, I chose to take a literature course. No one advised me to do otherwise. So consequently, I failed to learn how to conduct research, how to write term papers, and how to cite references. So I struggled unnecessarily as a college freshman in the English composition course. Ultimately, I learned how important it is to seek out helpful resources, and I learned to be willing to talk to any student about the courses they are taking and how these courses could potentially impact their future.
Yeah, I think a lot of students nowadays, even if you're gonna pursue something in STEM, oversee how the importance that an English class could be. Because when you're in engineering, those who are watching, you're gonna have to do a lot of research, a lot of writing, and you're gonna have to also write to your bosses about what you're doing. So definitely make sure that you fulfill all your English classes so that you're able to do that at the maximum level. We also have a
Exactly.
we also have another Q&A question from a sixth grade class in New York asking, what does a typical day of work look like?
Ah, so typically I get to work about 5 a.m. Northrop Grumman has very flexible work schedules. So I work 4 10s, which means I work 10-hour days, 4 days a week, and I'm off every Friday. Generally, when I get to work, I work on some of my hardest problems first, or some of my hardest projects, tasks. But generally about 9:30ish, we start having our meetings. Um, we meet, talk about the issues that we're having with our projects, and we kind of set the pace for the day. But after about 9:30ish, then I start attending other meetings with other groups. And so a typical day for me involves meetings on top of meetings. And in between, I'm working various projects.
Wow, I imagine like around 4 or 5 meetings a day.
Exactly.
Oh
Yes.
wow, that's a lot. I don't think I would be able to handle that many meetings a day.
Yes, you would.
So
You'll surprise yourself.
for our next question is a fill in the blank question, and it's I am a blank, and then finish the sentence with one word to describe yourself, and then explain why did you choose this word.
Okay. I would say I am a teacher. And I chose this word because for me, my mission is to educate our young people.
Wow, yeah, we're very thankful for that. And what do you like to do for fun outside of your work?
Outside of work, I enjoy playing pickleball. And I
Oh,
guess I enjoy this because it gives me an opportunity to socialize as well as exercise.
ooh, pickleball. That's it's a new sport that's sparking up a lot in my area as well. And if you could have any superpower, what would you choose and then why?
Okay, a superpower. I guess if I could have any superpower, I would choose to be a mind reader. Sometimes people find it hard to give constructive, critical feedback. If I were a mind reader, I could read their mind and make corrections immediately while allowing them to avoid an uncomfortable conversation or situation. So I think being a mind reader is a superpower that I would like to have.
And it would definitely also reduce the amount of meetings as well. You would just have to read their mind and you already got all the information you need.
Exactly.
And what is one skill that you haven't quite yet mastered, but you would definitely like to?
So I guess one skill that I haven't mastered that I really would like to master is to become fluent and proficient in a second language.
And by chance, what would be that second language?
I guess I would like to become fluent in Spanish.
Okay, all right, yeah, it's like a very popular second language. That's a very good option. And if you had a time machine, what time period would you let? Sorry, oh, what time period would you want to visit and why?
If I had a time machine, I would go back to the fourth quarter of the 20th century. Um, my mother died during that period, but I would like to get to know her hopes, her dreams, and her aspirations, as well as what she wanted her children to accomplish. So I would go back to that time period.
Oh wow, that's very sweet. And now for our last and final question is what's something that you've done in your life that you're really proud of?
Something that I've done that I'm really proud of, it would have to be being here on Discover E and visiting with you and your audience. I'm very proud of this opportunity.
Perfect. We're also very, very proud that to have someone such as wise as you. So thank you very much for your time. And I believe that's all the questions that we have time for on this chat. Thank you, Dr. Anderson, for joining us today. I have learned a lot.
Thank you so much, Enrique, and good luck in school. And I wish you
Thank
well.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank
thank
you.
you.
We also want to thank Northrop Grumman for partnering with us today on today's episode. Also, a huge thanks to all of you for tuning in. Today is, in fact, our last chat of the school year, but Chat with Changemaker will be back in fall with new episodes. In the meantime, check out any episodes you missed. Go to discovere.org, click on the program section, and you will find 45 chat episodes to enjoy on demand. You could also click on engineering careers to learn more about exciting career paths in STEM, similar to Dr. Terry Anderson's systems engineers. And I hope you have a great summer and see you next time. Thank you.
Bye, Enrique.
Bye.